Grand Rising, and a friendly reminder that if you've got watchers, stalkers, switch up your routine at 10:11 on the clock and 22%. Switch up your routine both online and in person. Okay? Don't make their job easy for them. And don't give them all of your information. Don't give them all of what you're working on, all of where you're going, none of that, okay? So we've got first out, Strength, number 44. You should be feeling much stronger after retrograde has closed up if you cleared out what was bubbling to the surface. Mercury retrogrades are meant for you to release, to remove the stuff and move forward, which brings strength because those things can no longer touch you and hurt you in the way that they used to. Yeah. When you don't move through the stuff that bubbles to the surface, that's why you guys saw me going through all of the traumas that were bubbling up during retrograde. You heard me talking about the stepmom who stole money from me in high school. You heard me talk about us losing my little brother while my mom was doing not okay things. When we have all of those come up and then we say no and we push them down, it turns us into a place where we are not strong because those things then have control over us. But when we let them out, when we speak on them, when we make them real by letting them come out of our mouth, we build up a strength. And building up that strength prevents us from going back into the wastelands, into the ghost lands, okay? Because when you avoid healing your ouch, when you avoid the things that have hurt you, especially things in the past, then this is where you end up. You end up in the ghost lands with your shadows. And at 224, you are then running from your shadows, okay? Running from our shadows makes them bigger, takes away our power, and tends to lead us into behaving in manners that we don't want to behave. Okay, behave in manners that we're not proud of because we're being triggered. All right, we'll go to a part 2 so that we can see what else Source has to say about this. All right. Part 2, let's see what else Source has to say. What else can you add to this message, Source? Okay, I knew what I was doing in the reverse. Study the op forces by means of research, by means of movies like Sci-Fi's Alice, Matrix, Ants. Really, anything that they put out, if you are now tapped in and you're being called like this to research, you're going to get different information than you would have prior to, okay? So once you go through this stuff and you start watching shows that you're guided to, they hit different. When you're watching them, you see different things. And you will more than likely be called to rewatch things that you've watched maybe 100 times, like The Matrix or Ants. If you haven't seen Sci-Fi's Alice, it is on YouTube for free, and oh my goodness, so much gold in there that explains this planet. Some people may be waking up because this is in reverse. Some people may be waking up at 1, 2, 3 on the clock and realizing what they've done and realizing that they didn't know what they were doing because they were still programmed. They were still stuck in their own trauma, right? Because when we don't heal our ouch, then we're wandering in the ghost land. And when we're wandering in the ghost land at 1:44 on the timer, we do not see things clearly. We see them through the lens of our traumas, all of our traumas, which usually leaves us in a defensive place, okay? Part of the reason that they're wanting you to research is so that you can expand yourself. You're going to get downloads. So you can go into whatever streaming service you have and you can say, okay, source, lead me to something that you want me to watch, or your team, lead me to something that you want me to watch, and go through until something grabs at you. In doing this, it's going to help you release these people at 222. It's going to help you keep these people out of your energy until they have fully 234 on the timer, fully woken up themselves. Okay. Now, if people wake up and they are changing their behavior and they are healing and they are growing and they have not caused you significant harm, they have not tried to destroy your character, tried to destroy your money, tried to destroy your business, tried to destroy your connections. If they haven't done any of those, okay, part 3. So the people that are going to be waking up, because we all wake up at different times, right? We all recognize what is going on this planet, in this world at different times. When they wake up and they realize, holy crap, I did not mean to cause you trauma like that. You can, because of your research, because of your expansion, because of your strength, you may be able to help them through that process. However, the people that did not realize what they were doing, if those people tried to destroy your character, tried to destroy your relationships, tried to destroy your money, tried to destroy your business, tried to destroy anything like that, that is you, then my advice, my opinion, they can book a session. If you are a healer, transmuter, or whatever, they can book a session. They can pay for your services like everybody else. Because if they've done that to you in the past, the likelihood of them doing that again in the future is very high. Seriously, story time in the middle. Okay. So back in 2016, they may have dimples, or you may have dimples. I've got one. Back in 2016, somebody very close to me helped someone else very close to me set me up in a C and a P and an S case, okay, which landed my child removed for 6 months until the courts caught on to the fraud, and landed not only me and my child, but the rest of my household with lifelong trauma due to it, with complex PTSD due to it, okay? I allowed that person to come back in after they had had an awakening, after they had experienced some things that should have taught them how to better treat people. And I let them back in and I showed them my journey and I helped them along their journey. And the entire time that I was doing that, they were studying me. They were making fun of me. They were gathering information on me. And then they were full on stealing my healing journey as theirs, pretending, wearing me as a mask, pretending like what I did was what they did. Okay. If these people, and they may have dimples, if these people at 234 on the timer, if they did any of those things, destroyed your character, messed with your money, messed with your family, messed with your business, they do not get access to you past what a normal person outside would get. Okay? A normal person outside, they're going to be paying for your services, right? They're going to book services with you. I don't know if you heard that, but that was definitely a transformer blowing up and the power going out, which took us outside to make sure that it wasn't just our place. Because if it's not just our place, then I don't need to call or do anything. And so many birds, both of the real nature, and then there were 2 planes going right over our heads, and these were huge flocks flying over our heads, okay? The information that I was given out in the sun regarding charging for services like this, there's a big difference in buying into and feeding a capitalistic system and a difference in charging for your services. Okay. If you are one of these creators that is out here charging prices that not many can afford, yeah, you may be feeding into the capitalistic system. However, if you are charging reasonable prices, especially for the quality of work that you are giving, that's not feeding into the system. That is, oh my nose, that is living in a world that needs money right now for you to pay bills and buy food and buy clothing and take care of your kids and all of the things, okay? So I'm not sure who came out with this whole God doesn't want you to be charging for your services. You should be helping everybody for free. If Source is telling you to put a price, put a price. And this is coming from somebody who does not like sales. At 1:44 on the clock. I mean on the timer. I do not like sales because the good salesmen that I have known in my life, great storytellers, also great liars and manipulators. That isn't something that I want to align with. So for me to talk about capitalism and charging is huge, especially since I don't like capitalism very much, because I don't think that anybody should be stepping on another so that they can live way above what they even need. And I also am not somebody that likes the sales tactics that are widely used, especially in the US. Okay? So, if you're called to charge for your services, charge for your services. Helping others along their trauma recovery journey, helping others heal is very different than scamming people. Okay? Check in with yourself. Is that the end of this reading, Source? Yeah. Know thyself. When you know yourself, you don't have to listen to any of that. Enchanted beginnings. Okay, enchanted beginnings. Knowing thyself is going to know whether you're feeding into a system that we're trying to collapse or whether you're genuinely out here helping people while surviving. The people who are out here helping people while still having to survive, they know themselves and they are also helping a lot of people for free. Okay? The people that can afford to pay and can afford to book services, they absolutely do book services because they see the value in that person and in the knowledge that that person has, in the gifts that that person has. All right? And the people that can't afford it yet still get not only all of the free information, but how many of us do free readings on here? How many of us do free mini readings on here? Okay. The last two that came out on the top was leave your exes in the past. It's time to move forward. And the past is returning in reverse. So all of these readings about your exes coming back, especially if it's an abusive ex, they're not coming back. And by you feeding into those readings, that is keeping you stuck in a cycle. That's keeping you stuck in this cycle of the past returning. Because you are willingly watching and staying connected to an energy that Source, your team, God, universe, whatever you believe in, has removed from your life. If you are elevating, if you are healing, if you are ascending, raising your vibration, all of these are just nifty words for healing yourself. If you are healing yourself, then they don't have access to you anymore. In fact, the most of us have already had this ex return for that test. Some of us had them return last year for this test. But as long as you keep watching those readers saying, he's coming back, and your mind goes to somebody that is not healthy, you are staying stuck in that cycle, okay? So when you hear the readers say, oh, your love is coming, scroll. Because guess what? 224 on the timer. If there is a person in your life that is meant to be a part of your future, you will not need to worry about it. They will show up. They will show up in good energy. They will show up in authenticity. And you will know by the signs and by your intuition and your body that they are supposed to be there at 2:44 on the timer and 10:44 on the clock. Okay? So stop putting, and this is the end of the reading. As long as you are focused on the past How are you building your future? You're not. Grand Rising, I've got an early morning message for you. And it is clipping something that is coming across the For You page, apparently, and then my video from yesterday. If money, yes, money can be an energy exchange. Everything is an energy exchange. If money can be quote, quote, tainted or not good money, then it can be transmuted and cleansed. Everything that can be turned into something to harm someone else can be cleansed for that person to then use it the same way energy does. If somebody comes into our energy field angry and projecting and all of the things, we can take that energy and transmute it into something that we can use. The same thing goes with payments, okay? And the reason that I say those people who have already shown you that they will not be responsible with you, they will not be responsible with your energy, they've already shown that they're going to assassinate your character and all of the things. I have been told that those people will pay. And the reason that they will pay at 5:15 a.m. and 99% is because the risk that comes with them, the risk that comes with us working with them, the risk that comes with us helping them at 144 is much higher than somebody that we've not interacted with. Much higher. We've already been shown that they are going to more than likely repeat the same things that they've been doing, okay? Especially if they have a long-standing pattern of this. I'm talking most of these people have patterns of this going all the way back to your guys' childhood, to our childhood, okay? So when I say they can book if they need your help at this point, they can book if they need my help at this point, that's because the price tag for that is going to be much higher, because the risk to me, the risk to my health, the risk to my mental health is much higher. Are they going to be able to afford that? I don't know. And even if they attached at 234 on the timer, even if they tried to attach some ill intentions to their payment, some harmful intentions to their payment, I can transmute that. And risk assessment is how you're going to raise prices for people like that. Okay, well, let's look at how you've handled my energy in the past. This is your price. If they can make it harmful,